you so much for being part of the TMI Tuesday edition. And I did say we're looking at a very sensitive issue as we clock towards the presidential race, February 16. We've got just barely 25 days walk to the election, the presidential race coming up in February. And these as it is, I have discussants with me to take a ride with me on this very sensitive issue. And starting from my extreme left, I have a political analyst, Neville Obakedo. Many thanks for coming, Neville.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers at home.
And next to him, I have a politician, Benson Odia. Thank you for coming.
God bless you, viewers at home.
And also a public affairs analyst, Salvation Ondomroba. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
I have to shake you, and you extend it to others.
Thank you.
All right. Well, looking at what we have here on the 2019 elections, that's just very, very close. And just recently, or last weekend, on Saturday precisely, where we had the debate, presidential debate as organized by NEDG and also BON. There was this absence of the APC presidential candidate, Muhammadu Buhari, and the PDP, Atiku Abubakar. What do you think that is, looking at how it really appeared on the show, Neville?
Well, this is what we call electoral governance. And electoral governance is always be guided by a legal framework. I'm talking about a legal framework in this context. We look at what we call the Electoral Act 2010 as amended. When you look at the Electoral Act and the Constitution in relation to electoral governance and the electionary process in Nigeria, there is nowhere it is enshrined as a provision of law that there shall be a debate, whether presidential debate or vice presidential debate or governorship debate or deputy governorship debate. But watchers of the political process, stakeholders of the political process, and civil society organizations, they thought it wise to borrow a leaf from the constitutional debate in America to want to bring it down here so that the candidates can actually inform the people, at least the informed political audience, their plans and programs, their manifestos on how the society will be ordered when they have opportunity of being elected into power and the modus operandi of such ordering. Just now, there are huge cries about a debate that was organized for presidential candidates, where the incumbent president, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the former vice president and major contender, and the PDP presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, were absent. Now, the question is, why were they absent? People, maybe part of the elite group, will want to know. Others at a beer parlor discussion, others at newspaper stand, others in public places like buses or motor parks. They can be making statements, either as a result of their political leanings or affiliation, on the basis of sentiment that this is the reason why candidate A did not attend, this is the reason why candidate B did not attend. Now, whatever is their reason, both of them lost the opportunity of letting the people know. For example, the APC presidential candidate, who is the incumbent president, lost the opportunity of informing the people what the government has done in almost 4 years and what the government will still do if given the opportunity to continue. That is the agenda that the president rolled out in his next level manifesto. It would have been an opportunity for him to inform the enlightened audience what his government has done and what the government is going to do if given the opportunity. Then the PDP presidential candidate also lost an opportunity of informing the enlightened Nigerians and the voting populace of what he would do differently after moving from PDP to APC and from APC back to PDP, what he will now do differently in view of either the strengths and weaknesses of those two political parties that are major parties in Nigeria. But over the years and based on statistics that are available, one cannot say categorically that election debate has a major percentage in determining who becomes the president, especially in our context where political behavior is related to either ethnic group origin or religion affiliation or a combination of both. So just now, the various campaigns that they are doing at their various party level from state to state is what the people will now cash in on to determine who the party that forms the next government later in the year. All right,
you spoke well, and we look at what you said, that constitutionally it's not binding.
Yes, it
whether
is.
they are to embark on a debate or not.
Yes.
But let's also look at the values that it brings to the electorate, which you also made mention of it that that would have been an opportunity for him to showcase what the party has done in power and what it intends to do. But that opportunity was lost. But let's look at what Obieze Kwesili made in that debate, and also Kingsley Moghalu and Fela Durotoye. A lot of persons, Nigerians, applauded that debate because of the intelligent reasoning that was brought to the fore. And some also like what Kingsley Moghalu said when he was asked the question, Besinodia, when Kingsley Moghalu was asked the question about the absence of the candidates. And he made it clear that they can't answer the questions here. That's why they are not here. What do you react to that? How do you react to that?
Well, if you look at Nigeria as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and even the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, there is no any clause or any provisions that provide for presidential, senatorial debate, or as it were.
Yes, we've passed that
But-
stage.
but
We've passed that
as
stage.
it is,
But reacting to what Kingsley Moghalu said, do you think that is actually the case?
Well, the issue is that just like what I said to the press on New Year Day, this election should be issue-based, where you have no right to scandalize or whatever. Kingsley Moghalu and others, they made their day by having opportunity to tell Nigerians what they have for us as a country.
And shouldn't the president, or the incumbent president, do the same?
The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, who were absent, have, for reason best known to them, or maybe because of their political engagement and whatever, but that is not to say they don't have programs and policies or issues to discuss with Nigeria.
Okay.
If you look at
reports have it that even the president could not attend it because of his busy schedule. But is that tenable?
Well, if you look at it, whether it is tenable or not, I think what we should be concerned about, how the modus operandi, how are they going about their campaign? Is it in line with global best practices? A presidential candidate that attend a presidential debate or whatever is not the issue. These are not issues. So those who have time, they should attend. Whether Atiku was there, whether Buhari was there, he has nothing to. He has no effect.
Okay, thank you.
On their chances.
Thank you, Salvation. What's your opinion about this?
I beg to differ with my co-brother because the body language of the president and the presidential aides before the debate already showed that he was not interested. I remember I read the presidential aides saying that the president is not ready to debate with the motivational speakers. That's what he called the fellow contestants. And when you see the absence of the sitting government and the major opposition in a debate, sometimes it shows their respect for the people. Do you really respect the opinion of the people? Do you really have a program? Somebody once said, one of the aides once said, it is not about to be an orator. It's not an orator that wins presidential elections.
It's not about your oratory
It's
prowess.
not your oratory prowess.
Yeah.
We know that by law it is not wrong. If by law, is it wrong to campaign? Why do you campaign? You want to show the people. Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan for the issues? We have economic problems. We have security problems. When you talk about being busy, he went for a campaign that day. How many people did he campaign to? This debate, the whole Nigeria was watching the debates. What is wrong for you to come up? I feel...
So that was a bigger platform.
It's a bigger platform to show. So the platform he went for that day that gave him the excuse was just a state. The whole nation was watching the debate. We want to know what you want to do about our economy, what you want to do about security. So even though there is no law against it or whatever, but if you want to come, why can you tell me you are a politician and you can't talk?
Okay, but the knowledge of knowing that, the aspect of knowing that, hasn't that what the president has been on? Has he not been intimating the people over what he intends to do and how he intends to take Nigerians to the next level?
Not everybody. That debate is an opportunity for you to come with everything. Many times what we see, the problem with Nigerian politics is what you saw that day. And it's sad that the two parties that have ruled Nigeria, they are the ones that show the character. They just told you how they are. Nigerian politics has never been about issues. Nigerian politics is always about my person. We don't do issue-based politics. So that's why, this is the reason why you can see somebody tell you, vote for me because in 2023, your person, when you vote for me, the presidency will come there. It's an insult on the populace because you are saying the only reason I should vote for you is because my brother, you will help my brother become a president. You don't have a solution to the problems at hand. So I feel they are not sure of their solutions, sir.
All right, thank you. Well, there's this back and forth issues about how to bring poverty to its barest, how to eradicate poverty in Nigeria. But statistics show that, Nigeria is close being home to global poverty. Now, what do you make of this? Is it that the successive governments have issues that they still are not able to solve this problem? Or is it that there are personal interests that is really holding them back?
Before I give an analysis about poverty eradication and how it's both an economic and social problem, I want to quickly react to the issue of those who were present during that presidential debate. The Nigeria political space, or let me say, the democratic transition in Nigeria today is not the one that encourages oratory competence as a leeway to winning election. Because to win an election in a country multi-diverse like Nigeria, you need what we call a very strong grassroots political base. For somebody to win an election in Nigeria, it goes beyond oratory competence and ability to play on words. You need to have a very strong political structure.
Okay, but we are not arguing that.
Yes.
What we're saying is allowing the electorate to know programs on that platform. Are you by that saying, as a political analyst and you as a custodian of thoughts, that that is wrong?
No, I have not in any way said that coming out to debate in a presidential election is wrong, because in 1993, in the aborted Third Republic, we saw Chief Moshood Kolawole Kashimawo Abiola, the presumed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, engaging himself in a debate with his national Republican Convention counterpart, Alhaji Bashir Tofa. We equally saw Sisi Ugo engaging himself in a vice presidential debate with Ambassador Babagana Kigibe. As the case may, over time we have seen debates, presidential debate, governorship debate.
So it's a fruitful exercise?
Yes, it is a fruitful exercise, but the fact that there are other aspects of the electoral process that are enshrined in the law. That is, for example, we talk of party convention, we talk of delegate congresses and the rest of them. These are enshrined in the Electoral Act and in the Constitution. And so parties are compelled to obey them.
Okay,
but
like you rightly said,
yes,
you rightly said, it's not all about oratory poise.
Yes, sir.
It's all about your capacity to governize
yes.
all of these issues that will bring about good governance.
Yes.
But we've had these successive governments.
Yes.
We have the PDP, we have the APC. It seems the same.
Yes, you asked me a question just now concerning...
And that's what is linking to that.
Yes, about...
eradicating poverty or bringing it to its barest.
Yeah,
we've had the successive governments on it, and
yes.
it seems the same.
If you look at religious books like the Bible and other religious books, you will discover that the Bible says, for example, that the poor cannot seize your land. And when the Bible is saying the poor cannot seize your land, it's not because the Bible itself or God himself that directed the writing of the Bible. Is the one that is condemning people to poverty. People can, as a result of their action or inaction, condemn themselves to be poor. And so we need to be very careful when we look at the subject matter of poverty eradication or reduction of poverty to the best.
Okay, but let's look at the policies.
I'm coming to that.
I know you've always promoted the issues about government policies.
Yes.
Looking at a way of eradicating or bringing poverty to its barest.
Yes, I'm coming.
And the way to do that, we'll look at infrastructural development.
Yes.
We'll look at the capital projects in the budget.
Yes, we are coming to...
Which seems not far-fetched from what we can see.
You just give me an opportunity to make my contribution on this subject matter. Number one, in Nigeria, every 4 years, they elect a new government. That new government that they elect, the next 4 years, they will elect another one. Maybe the government that was elected this year will not be re-elected in 4 years. Now, the issue is that there is a legitimacy issue there. If you look at 1999 to date, you will see a plethora of legitimacy crises surrounding elections. Elections that are presidential, National Assembly election, governorship election, and even State House of Assembly election, even local government elections. Now, that legitimacy crisis that follow the electoral process in Nigeria,
yes,
because of the way and manner the law gives opportunity for manipulation, it affects the capacity of the state or the managers of the state to deliver on governance. Number one, you have the issue of security as a result of legitimacy crisis. Those who felt shut out of the process of choosing leaders, either at intra-party level or at inter-party level, they first and foremost, after the results have been declared and the winners installed, they withdraw from the public space into their cocoon, only for them to resurface. To resurface as enemies of the state, in quote. They put every machinery at their disposal to ensure that that government is not accorded the legitimacy that it deserves.
So that's a setback.
Yes, they engage in all kinds of activities that portray the government in bad light, that can bring the government down. That is on the aspect of security. Now, we have also heard of government in power, either PDP in power, APC in power, saying that the opposition, if it is PDP, we say it's opposition. Maybe at that time it was ACN or AC, or now APC is there saying PDP. That politicians are sponsoring, they can say killer herdsmen, they can say other forms of terrorism, Boko Haram and the rest of them. These are security issues that take their root from the issue of legitimacy crisis and a gulf, a great demarcation that is created between the managers of the state and the citizens who are supposed to give their support to the state.
Okay.
In that situation, poverty will suffer because the money that would have been channeled to backing on social welfare, economic policies that can put food on the table of the people, that money will not be channeled to security.
Okay.
And if you look at budget over the years since Nigeria has been facing this security crisis, you see that security takes the lion's share of the budget. I leave that issue of security and come to capacity to deliver. A government that is facing excessive crisis of security, that government will lack the capacity to deliver. To deliver, for example, on electricity, to deliver, for example, on pipe-borne water, qualitative pipe-borne water, to deliver on good roads, railway, and all kinds of.
So can you say that this is actually the narrative of the Buhari's administration?
Well, with the,
in the sense that there are saboteurs, there are others who want to pull the efforts of the administration down, and hence inability to make such capacity at the level that is expected.
Just now, there is a major crisis.
Okay.
At the national level.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Besinodia. Now, this issue is culminating to the aspect where the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, a few days back during the weekend, spoke about the issues on the aspect of the opposition trying to score to the process. It even appeared on the papers today that the opposition is trying to score to the process, and Boko Haram insurgents, insurgents to bring about interim government. Do you think that is actually the position of things?
Well, before I talk on that issue, on the poverty issue, I want to quickly make a little contribution. If you look at, according to the United Nations, for somebody to be poor is when you live below $1 per day. And if you look at this country as a nation, discover that it is imminent. Poverty is a thing of the mind, and you discover that most persons, even when public spirited individuals, government agencies, they are trying to alleviate poverty, you see some Nigerians still plunging themselves into poverty. If you look at these countries, with even since 1999, you discover that successive administrations have come with many poverty alleviations programs.
Intervention programs?
Yes, even if you look at those states under the former governor, Adams Oshomole, bought and distribute granny pepper machines, sewing machines, and many other wet generation machines and incentives like grants to some populace across the local government to alleviate their poverty. And you also see some National Assembly and State Assembly members alert to their responsibility by way of tackling the issue of poverty. But you discover that most of these persons cannot really sustain all these grants and all this equipment that is being given to them to be self-reliant. But on the issue of the statement credited to Lai Mohammed, you discover that that is why we, as public affairs analysts and political scientists and those who are the stakeholders, should guide the politicians to play the game according to the rule, in line with the tenets and the doctrines of democracy. Because the Lai Mohammed did not just come up and start saying something. The security agencies like the DSS, police, they must have been able to unravel some circumstances before the spokesman of the government came up with this this statement. And you should also remember that in recent times, that the presidency is saying that President Muhammadu Buhari committed to a free and fair elections. And you also should be aware that the statement credited to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and other statesman, President Olusegun Obasanjo, saying that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and his party.
Yes. Before we get there, let's look at this aspect, because
okay. The aspect
there is this impression that even the PDP refuted that, the opposition refuted that in respect of what the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, said, that it's a cheap talk and it's a political gimmick. Now, in this time where we are just 25 days to the presidential race, should this be what our politicians or political actors should be talking about?
You see, what the issues, it is not only the oppositions that knows how to cry wolf, and that is what is happening today. We must be sincere to ourselves as Nigerians. The oppositions are saying that the ruling party and the federal government are trying to rig the election. Then now, you can see that the ruling party, the federal government, are also coming up with a statement that armed bandits and this state, some key northern states, Kano, Nasarawa, Jigawa, many of other states were listed that armed bandits, herdsmen, insurgents, they have been mobilized to disturb before, during, and after the election. You see, politicians should not plunge Nigeria into the state of anarchy.
Like hitting the polity.
And hitting the polity. Okay. And any statement that is a hate speech, it's an aberration, it's uncalled for, And anything that will plunge Nigeria into a state of political imbroglio and political quagmire should be discouraged. Politicians should be guided. They should play the politics and they should go about their campaign. It should be issue-based.
Okay.
And they should play it in line with global best practice. Why? Because the international communities and other international stakeholders, they are watching us as Nigeria. And the electoral umpire should also live above board. And the election should surpass, the achievement of INEC should surpass that of 2015.
Okay,
So
we've had this war of words, and even the former President Olusegun Obasanjo also, where he spoke about the electoral body not being capable of delivering free and fair polls, and then the INEC leadership saying that they are not under pressure to make any compromise with any party in power. Now, all of this, what do you think should be the way out of these issues? Because we just have 25 days to the presidential race, and all of this are coming up. What do you think about it?
I will start by saying that there's a statement that says it's only a fool that does the same thing the same way and expect different results. Nigeria, we seem to be doing the same things the same way. All these things we are saying now, sir, we've always seen it. This is how our politics has always been. When it's close to election, it's always propaganda, accusation, counter-accusations, and all kinds. First, I want to tell the populace, we must be wise enough to look beyond these things to what the candidates are presenting. Forget about what politicians are saying now. What is each candidate presenting? The INEC, for say, what I would have said to INEC concerning the Zainab, those people are crying. By the time you find yourself that the lady that they brought in, that everybody is saying that you are related to Buhari and many of those things, in better climes, it is normal for that lady to resign. Somebody else can do that. If everybody is already losing trust on you. Okay,
are you saying that could be the reason why the electoral body is under pressure?
Yes.
Or is being heated, but they are not under pressure?
If everybody is against a particular person, if, for example, football, you want to play football, the teams are saying, we are not comfortable with this referee. By the time you keep insisting that the referee must umpire that game, people become suspicious. It was easy for the INEC to come up and say, all right, is there nobody else to take that position? If you are not comfortable with this, they bring up somebody else. There have been too many, with the cases we saw in Ekiti and Osun State, the trust for INEC. And look at the amount of, and this leads to voter apathy, which is one of the problems we're having here. So we need trust for INEC. I felt like if people are complaining about your preparations and all that, I expected that lady to step down. I never expected her to be there. So these are some issues that we look at. Are they serious? The INEC itself, how are they working? How can you tell me that somebody, even in a court of law, any case where you have any little interest, you step down. If that lady, if you are in any way related to the president, whether by marriage or by anything, what are you doing in the collation centers? What are you doing there? So these things lead to accusation and counter-accusation. But I want to say to Nigerians, because at the end of the day, it's Nigerians that suffer.
Like you said, allegations.
We must look at both of them.
And being that as it is, can you say that allegations hold water in terms of dealing with such a very sensitive office, looking at the personality in question?
Looking at the personality, first I want to say that Nigerians, when they bring allegations, we first look down at the allegation as these confirmed things. For example, that of the lady that came in, we looked at it. The presidency never even denied. There's a little connection. Those are facts. Those are facts that is clear to everybody.
The presidency never denied.
They never denied. It was clear that there was a connection. They only said it's not my sister, but there's a connection.
Okay, thank you. Let me pause you there. Nebilo Bakedo, react to this.
You see, I'm of the opinion that a television station like ITV is a worldwide television station. Yeah. And when we want to argue on the basis of questions that we are asked, we should give a very accurate answer or responses that will further promote this station and we further educate our people, especially as we move towards a general election. The issue of Amina Zakari and not Zainab Zakari is an issue that has been overflowed. And I do not believe, as a rational person, as a teacher of a university, I do not believe that that matter is supposed to be overflowed. Yes. Because the reason is very simple. have had the opportunity of contributing to this subject matter elsewhere before now. Amina Zakari was appointed by People's Democratic Party as a senior special assistant to the president and commander-in-chief, Olusegun Obasanjo, in 2004, and she left there in 2007. Later, she was still appointed by the state government, Ito NAFDAC. Later, she was appointed by the state government, Ito NACA, which has to do with HIV/AIDS eradication. And later, the same PDP government, from 2004 to 2015, she had occupied about 4 strategic positions before she was now appointed by the government, PDP government of Ebele Jonathan, as National INEC Commissioner. Now, we have been watching live telecast of results, announcement of results, like Edo State result in 2015 was announced live and was televised worldwide by the amiable Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin, Professor Faraday Oumesi. The one of Delta State was announced by the Vice Chancellor of University of Petroleum. The one of River State was announced by the Vice Chancellor of University of Port Harcourt. These are results that were collated in each of the states across Nigeria. Now, Amina Zakari, or whoever is a member or chair of a committee for the center where they are going to collate the result, does not announce the result.
So the agitations are not necessary.
Yes,
we have overflogged this.
Yes, yes.
We have overflogged this.
Yes.
But why I needed you to throw more light into it was where he made issues about the presidency denying that. But well, let's look at the aspect of the statement credited to Obasanjo and INEC leadership reacting towards that they are not under pressure. But don't you think that this could also be leading to the reason why all of this distrust seems to be coming?
Because of my family background and because of my spiritual orientation. Yeah. I will normally want INEC and any other public institution that is expected to deliver transparent election to be alive to its responsibility. So I'm using this medium to call on INEC to conduct free and fair election for Nigeria. If PDP wins it, good luck. If APC wins it, good luck. If any other party wins it, good luck. But what I've discovered is that during election, those who want to capture power, they will be violent. They can engage in what we call administrative violence, psychological violence, spiritual violence, all kinds of violence, just to discredit the people they want to take power from. Those in government can also be violent, wanting to retain their power. They can also be violent. The violence can also be administrative, can be psychological, can be judicial. It can be all kinds of violence.
And propaganda can also be involved.
Yes. Propaganda can be involved.
Yes,
but
now,
do you see the
aspect of okay?
Let me come to the issue of Obasanjo. Yes. You see, in 2003, an election was conducted in Anambra State. Peter Obi, that is a vice presidential candidate of PDP, under Abga, won that election. The election was rigged. The results were changed in favor of the present minister for labor, Ugige. Now, Obi went to court and finally got judgment. That was INEC under President Olusegun Obasanjo. In 2007, Obasanjo conducted the election, even in Edo State here. The winner of that election was determined by the court because of the manipulation, and the evidence was put before court. In Ondo State, neighboring Ondo State, late Olusegun Agagu was declared the winner. But at the end of the day, when results were brought before court, evidence put before court, it was Mimiko that was declared the winner. If you go to Ekiti State, the elections that were conducted by INEC under Obasanjo, the list is long. I'm not talking of National Assembly elections that were later reversed by the court.
So are you by that saying that it does not have a local standard?
Let me finish. In his broadcast to the nation in 2007, Obasanjo made a statement. He said those who are not satisfied with the election should go to court. They should go and put their facts of how they won the election before the court.
Meaning?
And many of them went to court and won. The one that he made, the statement that he made that I want to underline, he said, if Jesus Christ, I'm quoting Obasanjo now, if Jesus Christ were to come and conduct election in Nigeria, Nigerians will still complain. So what happened to that statement that he made in 2007. Now that another government is in power and that government want to conduct election. And I want to quickly say something here, because elections are won and lost on the basis of polling unit. That is why each political party have agents in all the units, and when the results have been declared, they will give them the results. After the results have been signed, all of them we sound, the agents will sign, the officer for INEC will also sign. The result will be given to all the agents. It is this result that is further declared at ward level, local government level, state level. Now, any party that is serious with the electoral process, if the party believes that it has been rigged out of that process, the party should gather the unit by unit result and take to the tribunal to demand for his mandate. Because if you say INEC rigged you out, that statement should not be hanging in the sky like a balloon. It is a statement that will be verifiable before court. Unit 1, this was the election that was conducted in Ward 1. Look at the result. Look at the result sheet from all our agents. It shows a result that is different from the one that INEC declared. Because the onus is on he who alleges that election has been rigged, that he was rigged out of an election. The onus is on that person to put the fact before the court, for the court tribunal in the first instance, to determine whether the person is the winner or not. But the system is being heated up just now because those who want to capture power are banking on megalomaniac allegations, while those who want to retain power are also banking on megalomaniac allegations. Obasanjo is on the other side. It's not on the side of Buhari. So any statement that is going to make will be the one that will discredit Buhari and his party as we move towards the election.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You've made your points clear. As we round off, let's look at the aspect of the electorate and the pressure on the electorate to influence their votes in terms of vote buying. Do you see that part by INEC as really effective in monitoring that?
Thank you, sir. Well, very briefly, the Obasanjo issue, I want to
yes, you always have a way of going back to
if you look at
but can you just quickly summarize that and go straight to the question?
Obasanjo has no local standard. He has no local standard to comment on anything that have to do with election. Because if you look at this country today, we are not conducting governorship elections simultaneously. That of Edo is 2020, and other states, because of the SSCs and the maladministration and the corrupt nature and practice of Obasanjo's administration. If you're the only person, the only ex-president in this country...
When you say corrupt nature, you should be if you want to make any allegations, you should be ready to prove it.
Excuse me, sir.
So please, why don't you just be objective?
Thank you, sir.
And go straight to the question I asked.
The only ex-president that have the local standard to comment on electoral issues that in regards to free and fair election is President Goodluck Jonathan, who even before the conclusion of the compilation at the coalition center called President Muhammadu Buhari and congratulated him. The spirit of statesmanship and sportsmanship. So the issues of electoral election vote buying should be discouraged. And if you look at INEC, the INEC boss yesterday has also cried out that the INEC, I want to tell you that INEC, they are working, they are not also sleeping. The INEC are ready.
INEC is not under pressure.
They are not under pressure because INEC, they are ready based on our findings. And the INEC, they are ready to conduct a free and fair election. Yesterday, when in a press conference...
You said based on your findings.
Yeah, based on our findings. We are grassroots people. I came from Igwebe this morning. Yesterday here, the INEC boss with the IGP and others, they were in a stakeholder meeting. The man revealed that there are plans by unscrupulous politicians to use food vendors as a food vendors point
to induce voters
as collection point for vote buying by some politicians. So the woman that is selling food, you can maybe the electorate will go there. So unsuspecting voter will go there. The woman will dish them food. After dishing them food, the woman will also give them money. Say go and vote for candidate A or candidate B.
We can't verify
so
that.
So that is INEC. That is a statement credited to the INEC boss itself. That there is a security mechanism that have been put in place to checkmate all this plan. And if you look, my advice to the electorate, as a child, when I was growing up, I was attending a church, God's Kingdom Society. And the spiritual head of my branch in Igwebe then, his name is Elder Kevin Jegede.
Yeah, go straight to the point, please.
What he used to preach then, that as an electorate, if you want to vote, don't collect money. that when you vote and collect money, it means that you have, you know, vote against your conscience. You have been conscientized to vote against your will. Why? Because the person that you have in mind to vote for is not actually the person you end up voting by collecting money. You will only go and vote to somebody who you collect money from. You see, as Nigerians...
And the challenge here is that it runs across political parties.
Yes, all the political parties are involved.
All?
Oh, yes. You see, let me tell you something. When you talk of grassroots mobilization, talk of galvanizing for election, there is no mobilization, there is no any political party that doesn't mobilize.
Well, I think for you to say all, yes, it means that you'll be ready to give us the statistics.
I am not saying,
if you say some,
I am proving a point which I can defend. I am not saying that all political parties are involved in vote buying. I am telling you that all political parties, virtually all the political parties are involved in money sharing.
Okay.
So, what is the? I'm not saying that they are all political parties are involved in vote buying. That is what I'm saying. They are involved. The electoral processing campaigns and whatever is not free. Democracy in Nigeria or in any other part of the world is very, very expensive.
Let's go what you said.
So
all the parties are not involved in vote buying.
They are not involved in vote buying.
But they are involved in money sharing.
Yes. So if you look at this issue, if you look at it,
all right.
If you look at it, those who are not ready to win election, those who are not campaigning, those who are not reaching us, who are not mobilizing the grassroots, those who are not going, they are the people who are crying wolf where there is no wolf.
Okay, thank you.
So
that
is it.
Thank you.
What I want to say first is Nigerians should learn to take a message without fighting the messenger. Just to round up that for that, if Obasanjo brought something, let's forget what he has done. What he said, is he right? In case of next time. Then
okay, we should forget who is saying it.
Who is saying it? What he's saying. We should look at what is being said. Many times, true message, the right message comes to Nigerians. Instead of us to look at the issue, we attack the person. And it makes us miss the content of the message. I don't like looking at the messenger. I like, because God used an ass to speak in the Bible. The ass was correct. So sometimes you look at them, what is he saying? Is he right? Therefore, the people, I want to say to them, we must get tired of selling our birthrights. Like, for example, when you eat 10,000 naira, I want to first say this from my own perspective. I am uncomfortable with this trader money thing because of the timing. Sometimes when we say vote buying, I'm not openly saying it's vote buying, but I feel it should be done earlier. By the time you start sharing 10,000 naira to market women, 1 month to election, 3 weeks to election, for me, the timing.
Okay, that is not vote buying.
It's not vote buying.
But like what person Odia said, that could be money sharing.
We are uncomfortable with the timing. Right, why didn't you do this one? Why didn't you do this 2 years ago? Why are you doing it 3 weeks to election? You are giving every market woman 10,000 naira for business.
But it's an intervention program. It's an intervention program.
Why is it 3 weeks to election?
We are supposed to key into that,
sir,
for the government of the day to look into how to ameliorate
the problem we have with many of these things? Timing is important. Yes. The timing, like many of the things that INEC did, like the cases of Onoge and all that, the timing has been the issue. When is the timing? If you do some things 1 year before election, people understand. When it is 3 weeks to election, it's easy. People read meaning into things. I feel like this trader money thing, why didn't you do it earlier? The woman you give 10,000 naira to 3 weeks to election, will she still vote her mind?
Thank you. I take that as your final contribution on this program. Your final words on this, Nebula Bakele.
My final words on this subject matter is that Nigeria democracy is a transition. We have moved from ballot snatching, ballot stuffing, through market infrastructure to vote selling and vote buying. And I insist that it is people of low intelligent quotient that will take money from a political party to vote against his or her wish. They cannot now come back and say this government is not performing because the government has already bought the mandate from you.
So they lack the rights.
Yes, you now lack the moral justification to begin to bring that government to question. I use this media to call on Nigerians to always set agenda for those in government, those who are seeking political power, so that when they are there, you can take them up on the agenda that you have set for them in terms of deliverables, what the government is able to do at a particular period that will determine whether the government will be giving, that political party will be given opportunity again or not.
Okay, thank you.
I use this media tool to call on all stakeholders, political parties, security agents, traditional rulers, community leaders to ensure that there is peaceful election in Nigeria 2019, February and March this year.
Okay, can you take 20 seconds, Benson Odia?
Well, the issue of trader money has commenced. This program has commenced.
No, we are not talking about trader money.
Yeah,
that was just a digression.
Yeah.
So your final words in educating the electorate.
My final words to the electorate is that they should be alive to their responsibility. Their vote is their power. They should vote for their conscience. They should not vote against their conscience. They should not collect money from politicians to vote against their wish. There should no voter apathy. They should come out en masse to vote for the candidate of their choice, to return those who have represented them well, and those who they feel that can represent them better.
Okay, and hope as a politician, I hope you won't be receiving from other politicians to share money during the elections. Because you just said that you came from Igweben this morning.
Yeah, this morning.
And so you must have been hoping with other politicians. Is that correct?
The truth is that I am a politician does not mean that as a political scientist who is in the active politics, we should be able to guide those old men and those young men, guide them to play the game according to the rules and in line with the tenets and the doctrines of democracy.
So you won't induce voters?
I am in a committee. I'm a member of Interparty Advisory Committee, and we are moving around the Central District to sensitize people, to tell them to come out and vote, and to also tell them not to tell their children not to be used as dogs.
Thank you.
To make sure that the electoral process is peaceful.
Okay.
So that is our
Thank you, Salvation Onomroba. I hope we are home and dry.
Well, I will say to the electorate, please, the belief that your vote doesn't count is a mirage. Come out and vote. It will count. And take note, every 10,000 naira, every 5,000 naira, every 3,000 naira that you collect from a politician, he collects over 2 million from your destiny.
Thank you so
don't
much.
say your birthright.
Thank you, Nemelo Bakedo. Thank you, Benson Odia. Of course, Salvation Onomroba. Well, 25 days to the presidential race. The polity is getting ready to ensure that there is free and fair polls, and INEC is also getting ready to ensure that, and the electorate getting ready to ensure that their PVC counts. Well, that's the most you can take on this discussion segment. Next is insurance.